GM, GM, GM. This is the ENS Morning Show. Good morning to the Web3 family. Man, there was a lot of action this past weekend. I was on and off Twitter, but there was a lot of action this past weekend. I got the opportunity to meet 075.eth in person. He was in Orlando for the weekend. And we went and grabbed some drinks, and what a great guy, that is. And that's what this space is all about. That's what we're building here. That is what we call in real life utility, right? We're making all these phenomenal and wonderful connections on Twitter, right? But it still opens opportunities and doors and just absolutely phenomenal people out there. So I know he's probably traveling back, but man, great dude. Shout out to 75. I definitely got to go to New York to visit him sometime whenever I am there. But yeah, man, the emojis absolutely ripped. Emojis absolutely went parabolic berserk, absolutely ripped this weekend, which I think is a good thing, right? I personally don't have any emojis at this point. Those who are kind of buying now you're kind of late, right? Because the emoji guy's been buying weeks and months ago and probably taking some profits now. But and four digits as well have been consistent. The most consistent, category in all of ENS, I believe, is the four-digit club. So those two had a great weekend. This is going to be a phenomenal show. With that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and pass. Oh, before I pass to Master Ron, other co-host Ron, he is in Africa right now. He's in a completely different time zone, so he's probably getting settled in and things of that nature. He'll be in there for a couple of days, probably like a week or two, before he's actually back on this show regularly. So let's hope Ron is having some fun. But with that being said, Master, the stage is yours, brother. How was your weekend, man?
Hey, great. Thank you. And good morning, good evening, guys. I think we just used another very special way to welcome a brand new week for ENS. Look at those, great sales for the emojis and those recent, words and digit sales. This is amazing. I really enjoy every moment of it because, ENS is more like simply a domain and you can see people create and there are a lot of collections. Before that, we have the digit collection and foreign digit collection, and now we have the emoji collection. So it's just like one and another NFT project within ENS. But yeah, we just have a lot of different ways to play on it, which is great. It's like an ecosystem itself. So yeah, and I just pinned one of my just published tweets on the top so that you guys can take a look. What just amazed me at the moment, maybe most people is sleeping on right now, is the state for the D web that associated to ENS address is pumping quietly while most people is not realizing at all because while you making association in your names, you must maybe associate your Ethereum, your BTC, some of major, and maybe your social media accounts, those Twitter, Discord, those handles. Maybe you'll do that, but majority of people, we don't know how to create a D-web, right? So maybe at the content, IPFS content, that bar is blank for most of people's. But right now, look, that number is pumping, which means lots of names are starting to have a content, are starting to have a something like in the IPFS, like a web file, like a personal, introduction, like a project. And people always say that maybe the sales can be fake and the bidding can be fake, but the utility is just the real deal. There's no fake on that. So we are just becoming stronger, right now, because this digit you can see in the past couple months and in July, in this month actually, the July has not been done yet, but we have more than double of the previous highest, which is a breaking record, and that is just going up, just like a new technology coming up, like the .com, when the internet coming, and you can see, it's not growing like the normal ratio. I mean, yeah, we should just be prepared what is going on in the next couple months. And before this, something even greater is that we know it is happening. The name wrapper is pretty much there. and the official timeline is about end of August. So we know this is happening, and we know this is great. We know the subdomain adoption is also a game changer. And it's just a one and another news on the queue that we there's nothing much, nothing further we can do but to hold our gems and keep it at this moment, because right now I don't see there is any stop button on this anymore, unless Ethereum got some fatal issue. We don't see it is likely to happen. But every day is a good day. Every news is good news. That is me talking about ENS. And in the past, I think I have some issue or problem understanding those non-axis domain names. But right now, I don't see there's any issue. I just treat this is an ecosystem, and it's like people creating an NFT collection under ENS. Everything is possible, which makes ENS community stronger. We have different groups of people. We even have artists here. They are learning and working on the see how it can be a better shape, because one picture can be better explaining than 1,000 words, and one words maybe is better than in the previous, it's better than the machine language. So yeah, we are under the evolution all the time. So we should get ourselves stay current and get us updated on this. And I'm really excited about the next step after DWeb. I'm really interested to see how this number is going to keep growing, maybe double again next month or what, and what will happen after the DWeb number get doubled, and meanwhile, the subdomain got doubled or tripled, because previously subdomain you set up it just for fun. You can associate with your root domain. Why do you have to make any subdomain? That doesn't make sense. But moving forward, you set up a subdomain, you can transfer as a gift to send to people, and you can also list and sell on OpenSea. So that is a game changer. That is totally different. I really, I'm really excited about all that this is going to happening, because there's no stop key at this moment. Yeah. So yeah, just tell me just tell me how you think, and I think we can exchange further. Maybe some people earn money, maybe some people doesn't, but that just doesn't matter. We are not there yet. But all the preconditions, all that needs to get ENS fly has already been proved and very solid yet. So yeah, I am really happy for this, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great week.
Yeah, thank you, Master. That was information you shared. And when I see that number, and especially the one you circled, right? It's guys and girls, look at where we're going, right? A year ago, there was no ENS spaces. People weren't really talking about ENS like that. Yeah, there were some guys. There were a lot of probably some people here who owned a couple of domains a year ago, but Master and a couple other guys, but it was nowhere nearly as popular as it is right now, right? And with subdomains and all these extra things coming on, this thing's going to go parabolic within the next 12 to 24 months, in my opinion. But the NFT verse, man, good morning. How's your weekend, brother?
Hey, GM to the DM to the co-hosts, DM to the hosts, GM to the speakers on the panel, GM to the community. Thanks again, Kev, for staying consistent and providing us with this open forum. Really appreciate that, Master. Master dropped in the happy hour on Friday night. Master, thanks for popping in to tap in. Really appreciate you coming in there. Thread Girl, amazing. Thank you. Thank you for popping in today, Thread Girl. I hadn't seen you in a while. Flossing and
Drag Girl, Drag Girl made a couple big sales and been gone ever since. So
Man, I'm telling you, I didn't want to say that, Kev. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, she's been MIA just a little bit. So, Thread Girl, welcome back. Great to have you back.
Thank
Um,
you.
and Mafico, man, thanks for popping in too on the speaker panel. So, first, I want to just say, if you haven't tweeted out the space, guys, go ahead and retweet the space out. Get it out there. Let's get some folks in here. We got some great things to talk about today. I know Kev has to step away for a little bit, so Master and I will take over the co-hosting duties, Kev, once you step away. But first thing I want to kind of touch on is emojis and the keycaps. So the activity with that is amazing. Everybody's seeing kind of that take place right before before their eyes. I think one thing that we got to understand is that we can't be so stuck on the point that we think that everything's just going to stay in one or two categories, right? That's the versatility of the market. That's the versatility of the buyers. That's the versatility of the new people who are coming into this space, who want to explore. We are in an experimentation phase right now with these ENS guys. That's kind of where we're at right now. We have to understand that and keep it in mind. We're so early. We're still experimenting. Some of the utilities haven't even come to fruition yet. We're waiting on a name wrapper to happen, which is a huge catalyst that's gonna come. But there's more to it. There's so much more to it. Signing with Ethereum and all types of things that we have on that roadmap out there with ENS, and even just the builders in general who are out there taking that code and they're building behind it and adding to it and building smart contracts and things like that ahead of time. Guys, we're so early, and I think that what we have to continue to do in this community is not push technology in a corner. We always, I hear people say, I don't know what emojis are going to do. I don't know what the use case is for it. Well, you can't predict that. You don't know what technology is going to do. Look how we've advanced so far already. Who would have thought that you'd be walking around with a computer in your hand? I mean, we'd have never thought that, right? So understand the evolution of technology happens and it's going to happen and you can't stop it. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. You have to adapt to it and understand it and educate yourself about it. That's where we're at right now. And that's why you see the emojis taking place and the keycaps, because it's historic. These are historic relics that are coming to fruition, that are coming to the forefront. That was inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay. So I think that we just kind of got to fasten our seatbelts because we have so many different things going on and so many different distractions that some of the obvious things that we see as normalized every single day are flying right up under your noses. Okay. And one other thing, just want to point this out. We can't be in here to speak for the 7 billion people who may have an opportunity to come into this space. You don't know what they're going to like. You don't know if they're going to come in this space to build something on a domain or an ENS domain. They may just want to come in for their identity because that's part of what the ENS domain provides is identity. So let's not kind of push that up on the sweep that under the rug. We have to understand that you got to keep an open mind. And some people are going to come in here to build on their domains, but some people are going to come here and they're going to look through that inventory that we're building to find their Web3 identity. So I just wanted to say that, man. And I look forward to the discussion.
Thank you, brother. That was really good. You always speak very well, man. We'll go over to ThreadGirl, then we'll pass it over to Mafico.
Hello everyone. Hey Kev, NFTverse, Master,
Welcome
Flossin,
back.
everyone. Yeah, I've been MIA a bit. And man, it's summertime, I gotta touch a bit of grass, enjoy my time. And yeah, and spend the shit that I made, you know what I mean? So but I'm definitely gonna pop to ENS updates to catch up on the news. I've been seeing the emojis do so well. Oh my god. What's up with that? We love emojis, all of us, I think. Yeah, Flossin loves emojis the most. And like we always say, diversify your portfolio as much as you can, I've missed a lot of plays, to be honest, that I really regret. We don't know what the people are gonna like. We don't know what trend they're gonna try to follow, or which kind of domains are gonna pop up, right? So yeah, and this is why it's so important to be sitting in spaces OG ENS like you guys, so we can trade ideas, think outside the box, and maybe make good plays in the future. So yeah, glad to hear from all of you again.
Thank you, ThreadGirl. Yeah, your presence is very, very appreciated and welcome. We love having you here. So, and definitely take your time, enjoy life. Definitely enjoy the little things, enjoy life, spend the ETH you made, have fun, do your thing. But whenever you are ready to come back, we will be here. This community will be here, and this community will be growing day by day. We're growing every single day. One thing I noticed is that I feel like the emojis popping off brought a lot of eyes to ENS, right? I think, it just brought a lot of attention to the community. I have a buddy of mine who he just got his first ENS names, and because of all of the emoji hype, right? It's like, oh shit, I get it. It's cool, it's fun. I think the emojis add a little bit of flavor to it. Everybody has their own strategy. I'm not in this to say, hey, that's not a good name or that's a bad name or whatever it is, because truth is, I don't know. And you probably don't know either, because we're so early. You can't really judge anybody's strategy. Have your own strategy, have your own conviction, but don't knock anybody else off. But I will say some names you guys register are not going to sell. I will say that some names are just not going to sell. They're not good, right? But now, as far as emojis and whatever little things, everybody has their own strategy. Do your thing. But I want to go over to Mafico. He actually made a nice little diagram explaining how his hierarchy of what ENS is and where it's going to go. So, Mafico, if you want to pin that to the top real quick and kind of walk us through that, I think that would be phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. GM guys, I hope everyone is doing well. It's actually crazy. It's one of these things I found as as an academic is like when inspiration strikes you, make sure to capture that and you don't waste it. I was literally having lunch and this just random idea popped into my head to create this diagram, and then I spent the next hour and a bit creating it, and here we are. So and it was really inspired based on a lot of the conversations we've been having over the past couple of weeks, and certainly the hype with the emojis, and then also where the space where we're going with ENS, and what the end goal is. And so background on this diagram, it's inspired from some research that a psychologist did, Abraham Maslow. I'm sure if some of you have heard about who he is. He came up with a diagram around what are the core needs that a human beings need. And so Maslow's like hierarchy of motivation, and sort of covered things around, humans need to feel safe. And then at the very bottom, we need to feel safe. And at the very top is like, we need self-actualization. We need to become the best versions of ourselves. So I use that diagram, and I've then modified it for ENS. And my thinking with ENS is where we are at right now in the market is very early. We all know that. And by very early, I mean a lot of this trading and buying and selling that's going on right now is between crypto natives, right? It's between NFT natives. It's like people in this space. I'm sure some of us have bought ENS names from each other, but it's mainly between crypto natives, and it's really about like flexing and speculation, right? It's like some of these names are going to be valuable in the future, but also particularly with the digits, right? It's like a flex. It's like, wow, I am 260.eth or 5159.eth. And so in my view, I'm like, that is a base layer right now. That is like the base level of utility that people are really using ENS for. Then we go to the next stage here around simplifying payments, right? It's like there's a safety element to the utility that ENS provides, and that those long ass addresses, they're really very, very easy to mess up. If you have a great ENS name, a real simple, clean one word or emoji or digit, it makes things easier in terms of communicating to people and simplifying payments. So my view is like that's the second level of that utility that ENS provides. Then we get to really interesting areas around, I would say, community, where you're starting to see communities form around particular ENSs, right? You see the 999 Club, you're seeing the ETH Emoji Club, you're seeing clubs around Harry Potter, around different Pokemon I've seen as well. And so these kind of clubs are forming as a result of ENS. And I think that will be a great piece of utility in the future. Certainly it's starting to form now. We're early with it, but I think there is certainly going to be much more around ENS communities forming around ENS. The further up we go, we start to see, in my view, things around identity. And for a lot of us in here, I'm seeing as I scroll through, a lot of us are using our ENS names as an identity piece, right? For me, it's like mafico.eth, Kev5159, like that is a core part of identity. And I think going forward, as more people get into ENS, that'll become a core part of their identity as well. I'm not sure if you guys saw Punk6529. He had a thread the other day recapping or summarizing, reviewing the past year that he's had his Twitter account, like 6529. And he was saying in the beginning that, you know, he used it as a pseudonym, and it was just a cool way for him to focus on crypto, talking about crypto and NFTs. But now after a year, it's become a core part of his identity, and he really identifies as 6529. I think we can all agree in this space, if you have your .eth name in like prominent, like that is a core part of your identity. People in the space know you as that. So going forward, that is going to be also a core part of that utility case. It's a higher level case in terms of, right now we're very early. We're seeing a little bit of it, people using their .eth names on Twitter, but the further we go over the long term, we'll start to see more of that, and that'll become a more prominent use case. At the very top, and I understand sign with Ethereum is a very broad term, and there'll be a lot of utility even within that. But I think that is where the end goal for us, that is where we're headed. That is where we start to see ENS names really being used as a day-to-day in all aspects of what we do. To access different goods, to go shopping, metaverse, whatever it is, to open your car. I've seen some utility cases around that, but that certainly that's the end goal in my view. So this diagram is really around what are the use cases right now, what is the sort of low-hanging fruit, and then where are we going, what is the long-term vision. And my hope with creating it was a couple of things. One, we often have a lot of discussions in this space around what ENS names are valuable. My hope is that with this diagram, we can start to have more nuanced conversations around it, right? So it's like easy to see a name and say, oh, well, that's worth 1 ETH. But if you have to be a little bit more, I think, nuanced in terms of what is the value thesis you're talking about. Like Master was talking about in NFTverse, is like, are you selling this as it's going to be a core part of somebody's identity? Are you selling this ENS name is because it's going to be a core foundation to form a community? Or is it a flex? Like what exactly is the use case you're talking about? Or are you talking about multiple use cases? Because in my view, I think the ENS names that touch on multiple aspects of this diagram will be the most valuable, because they'll have a much larger target market in mind. So I just think it's just for us to be a bit more nuanced in discussions around valuing. I said, like a lot of the names that people are registering right now won't sell because they're bad names. But the other reason is, like, if your name isn't selling, it may be the case that haven't fully understood what the value thesis is. And the other part of it is that value thesis right now, is that really attractive to the market? Because right now I say the market is entirely based on either like digital, like flexing and speculation right now. A lot of these other higher level use cases, they're not a thing right now. Master talks a lot about, his names in clean one word names. It's like that single level, right? It's like with that ENS name is an identity piece. That's not a use case at the moment, because we haven't reached like scale. That is not a use case at the moment where we've got a large target market, but in the future it will be. So I've been looking at my ENS names with this diagram and evaluating my portfolio and figuring out where does my portfolio sit. I found that I'm actually lacking in some areas that I'd like to have more exposure to. Some of my names are actually, I thought were more valuable than they actually are. because I looked at the use cases and I went, oh, actually, they only probably hit one or two of those diagrams. So just, yeah, I hope it's useful, guys. It was an inspired moment. I put it together, and I just hope it starts a conversation for all of us, and I'm hoping I can expand it with your input as we go forward.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say we just got a $5,000 lesson. Mafico is a professor at a university, and what students are paying $5, $15, $20,000 for. He just gave us a quick walkthrough here on ENS updates. And this is why this is the greatest ENS space in all of ENS, right? So shout out to you, Mafico. We're going to open it up for some discussions and about that shortly. But before we even open up for discussions, because I have to go in a second, and Flossin probably has to go in a second. Mafico, we'll swing right back to you. I want Flossin to get this out before he goes. Flossin, if you want to give us a quick update, and then we'll go right back to Mafico.
GM. Man, I had a great weekend. I don't know about you guys. Man, get that music out here. I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, I had a great weekend, even though it was a busy ass weekend. My whole day, Saturday, consisted of schoolwork, doing case studies. I'm sure Mafico knows all about them case studies, having that PhD. So, yeah, man, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, no, big week for a lot of things besides emojis. But the 10K Club started catching some bids. I saw some big trades there. Arabic 999 Club, I'm seeing some, more bids and some more sales going on there. The 999 Club's doing well. Just getting right into it, though. Right now, as a whole, ENS is up about 8% in volume the last 24 hours to 464 ETH traded. ETH itself is looking at quick price check in USD. Let's see here, is down about 5% to 1,520 USD. But going back over to what we're seeing in the last 24 hours with volume, 999 Club, 53 ETH volume, or excuse me, 43 ETH volume last 24 hours. 10K Club, 38 ETH volume last 24 hours, and Arabic 999 Club, just about 5 ETH volume last 24 hours. Top categories on ENS Vision right now. Triple emojis leading the way at almost 48 ETH traded. 999 Club coming in second, 10K Club coming in third at 38 ETH volume. A couple of big sells, as many know, the Burning Heart over the weekend, 100 ETH sell. Couple double-digit keycaps sold. I saw one register last night for a little bit over 37 ETH. That was 0.1 keycap. This morning, woke up some other big sells. Triple emoji. Blowheart is sold for 10 ETH. The Cowboy triple emoji sold for 10 ETH. The Joker triple Joker sold for 7. The Thailand flag double flags there sold for 5.5 ETH. Kev, I also posted an article that goes over and explains what true emojis are. So just to give a little debrief of what that is, not all emojis are like triple emojis, can't be found as singles. Vice versa for singles, can't all be found as triples, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that kind of goes over to where people are seeking value in some of these emojis. I'm with you. I think it was you, Kev, that said it. Not all of these are going to work out. You definitely have to be, precise in your strategy with emojis. Like I'm seeing a lot of degens stepping up, minting out a lot of keycaps that are like 8 characters, 9 characters, or digits. I just don't know why people are doing that. I don't recommend that. I'm getting tagged in all kinds of crazy posts now regarding emojis, asking literally for financial advice. I'm not going to give y'all financial advice. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not even give a price point of what I think the 10K keycaps can get to. So please stop asking me that. I don't know. I just, NFTverse kind of gave me vision with emojis as well as many other people. I'm able to actually track some of the emojis, like with value, since Unicode, they actually have revenue streams. So there's a lot of things while I was pounding the table on emojis. While I saw value in them, I just didn't think they would heat up this quickly. So it kind of caught me off guard. But congrats to everyone who were early, and I still think we're early. Just be precise is the only thing I'm going to say, and I would not be surprised if we do have a little dip, because what goes up must come down, but this is a long game for me. So, yeah, I will have to go. I will have to step away, go back to work. So, appreciate you allowing me to do the weather report a little bit early today.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Love having you on, and yeah, extend your break, bro. Extend that time. Tell them this is more important.
Man, like I said, I need to send you my resume. Maybe I need to go ahead and jump ship after 4 weeks.
Cool. I got you, man. Let's circle back to Mafico. I am gonna step away just for a second, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got something real quick, and then we'll go to Mafiko. I like that diagram, Mafiko. I think it's a great place to be able to refer people to who do have those questions about value, right? You have so many people minting certain domains out there, whether it's a word or digits or whatever, or emojis or keycaps. I think referencing, pointing them to that diagram. So guys, make sure you guys save that diagram or do something, or save that tweet or something where you can point people to that, because I think it gives just a simple explanation of how you can kind of bounce that domain off of some key points that Mafiko presented in that diagram. So I think it's a great point of reference. So I would suggest that anybody out here who has domains and who are thinking along those lines, take a look at that diagram. That's a great entry diagram for people to kind of refer to, Mafiko. I appreciate you providing that.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. And yeah, I'm glad it's well received. I think it's definitely a good start. There's some other things I wanna and probably will write an article in time, a longer form article explaining some other things. But yeah, really glad that you guys uh like it and it's helpful.
Definitely. I got 9396 got his hand raised. What's up?
Hello, everyone. Hello to the speakers, to the panel. Great speeches, like great knowledge being dropped today. Amazing, Master as always. The NFT verse and Mafiko, you guys just killed it, and it's like amazing to witness that. Whenever you tune in and it's Monday, and you're like, you don't know, maybe it's gonna be a little bit boring or whatever. It's never boring. It's just the nature of this tech, the nature of this technology that we are just like in the middle of, and it's just being played out in front of our eyes. It's just so parabolic. It goes parabolic. It's just like this exponential growth, curve is just starting to shoot up, and it's gonna surprise us more and more. I was looking at the graph, and it's great. It gives a lot of perspective. Even I'll start looking at my bags from a different point of view. Probably I'll drop a few words and like domains. I won't be renewing them. Others I'll keep for longer time. So that's great. And I wanted to touch for a while on emojis topic. I didn't get heavily into that. I probably have like just a couple. I expect a lot of craziness when the so-called mass adoption kicks in, because I think people are going to go for a lot of people are going to go for entertainment. A lot of people are going to go for fun, because this is something that was not present in Web 2, right? Because like domains were just probably a thing for companies, businesses, and it was never a thing for normal people. It was never a thing in the streets. It was never a thing for like daily life. And here we are. If you want to be a part of Web3, if you want to be a part of Metaverse, if you want to have a nice connection with your wallet in different currencies, you do have to have the ENS domain. So I expect those guys to go. Our minds are going to get blown, because probably I'm not really good in sensing that kind of entertainment thing in those, but it's gonna be it's going to be a big thing. But also the identity. This Friday, I'll be holding Spaces co-hosted with 5459, and we'll be talking about the identity in Web3, the crisis of identity in general, how those two play like spaces, Web2 and Web3, affect your mental health, how your new identity is being developed, whether you are taking some parts of your old identity or your real life identity and you import that in into Web3 identity. So for me, it's really interesting, and it's not always easy. Like there's a lot of friction, there's a lot of times when I doubt myself, when the world outside doubts you, and it's interesting. It's just part of becoming becoming a Web3 citizen. I mean, we are all becoming Web3 citizens with all it takes. So that's it. But I wanted to ask a specific question. Probably there are multiple guys on the spaces who could just help me with that. I'm working on a project with a bunch of guys, and it's going to be a music project, an album, and a line of clothing. And it's going to be the title is going to be ENS domain. Like, I won't say the word right now, but we have a title that will be an ENS domain. And for those who purchase a whole like package, an album with all the clothing, we want to give them an ENS domain. So my question is like, domains as we have them right now, they are not separate NFTs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because you can just issue how the number of different domains. There is no limit to that, but they are not a separate NFT domain. Is that the functionality that the wrapper is going to bring? Like you can issue multiple subdomains and they become their own NFTs. That's my question. And yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that and try to answer as brief as I can. From my understanding, the name wrapper will have that functionality that you just spoke about. Is that you will have the ability to create those subdomains and then issue those out to particular people or whomever you decide to sell that particular item to that you're talking about, and give them a subdomain. And then doing that, the name wrapper will also have, I believe, a functionality to it where you can totally separate yourself from that subdomain going further, which is called like a burning or the fuse burning. Maybe Gary can kind of touch on that a little bit more. I know Gary's in here, but it will have that particular functionality where you actually have the ability where you're still connected to that domain, where that parent domain is connected to the subdomains, and then you also have the ability where you can totally separate yourself from that subdomain. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So probably in this case of this project, it's worth waiting for the wrapper, because otherwise I've been playing with subdomains on my main domain just to make super deep cold wallet and all that, but it's like halfway through, right? It's not a separate thing, so you can just give it to people or sell it to people, and they're like they have their own NFT. So probably waiting for the wrapper when it comes to businesses like that is the way to go.
Yeah, I would say in addition to waiting for the wrapper, and this is something I heard Gary say, I believe at one time, is that you may want to kind of wait just a little bit before you start to experiment fully with one of the domains that you're thinking about really monetizing to a certain extent. Maybe use one of the domains that as a test type or as a beta test domain for the subdomain wrapper when it first comes out, just so you can understand that utility. And if something happens for whatever reason, it's okay because you're kind of doing it with one of your experimental domains, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool. I think you just helped me to make up my mind. So, the project will go on, and the domains are going to be passed to people or sold to people in the future, like in a couple of months, maybe in the beginning of next year or something like that, when it's all tested. But it can be announced right now. So, thanks a lot, guys. I'm looking forward to the discussion. Hey, ThreadGirl, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you as well, and lovely to hear from you.
Yeah. Thanks. 9396. We had a couple more people come up to the speaker panel. I saw Diplow. What's up?
What's going on, guys? This past weekend, I saw someone post Mr. 305.eth tagging Pitbull in it, and kind of was sparking a potential, alpha on just when you think about, three digits, a lot of people think about area code. So I went ahead and snagged Mr., 727. I live in St. Pete, Florida. So I snagged my area code. So I'm Mr. 727 now. But I just thought there's some potential there. I was looking to see if you guys had any thoughts on that.
ThreadGirl, you want to take that?
Hell yeah. So, uh, like to diversify your portfolio is the shit, right? Because as 9396 was saying, we don't know when mass adoption comes what people are gonna get into. We don't know what kind of names they will want to have, and I said in one spaces that okay, like Sam.eth, it's sold for 100 ETH, right? But how many Sams are there? Uh, won't someone get his wallet address as Mr. Sam.eth or OXSam.eth or the real Sam.eth or whatever, And same goes for area codes. I've been seeing a lot of tweet and people who are OGs in the space talking a lot about the countries, right? And area codes are almost as important because it signifies your identity, where you're from, and like to go back to Mafico's on pyramid. This is what we're saying, right? If it represents your identity, where you're from, um, this is like you basically covered the half of the pyramid, yeah. This is my personal take on this, and as much as we say that there are a lot of grails left, I don't think there is anymore. Like the last 2 months were hectic, and the registration bot was going nonstop, right? So yeah, definitely start looking outside the box. It might be a play. Uh, and man, we've been seeing a lot of things we didn't think they would sell for that much, make sense to people and sell for a lot, right? So congrats on your new domain name.
Yeah, I mean, I also
Yeah.
think it's pretty clean too. Just like I'm all about simplicity in names. I like clean one words, and everyone has their cup of tea. But I just think it's clean and pretty simple, and obviously scarcity too, because there's only 999 variations. So just adding a Mister to it, But like you said, at this point in time, everything is speculation. We don't know what is going to be hitting the most in the future. So, to make a $13 bet on anything at this point in time is the risk reward is there for me.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say what we did in that would probably happen in 2 years. We did it in 2 months in this space when it came to just registering domains and capturing some of the grails out there, that weren't already taken, the digits and everything like that. It moves so quickly. And I think that that's kind of what puts us in the place that we are right now, where we kind of think that, man, it's slim picking out there when you talk about grails. But then, we haven't even extended to the point where, some of those double words or phrases may play a point in Web3 with these ENS domains. So something else that, will probably come up later on. But I saw that Dr. B had came in the room before I go to you 9396. I know that Dr. B had came up. So Dr. B, I'm going to go to you first.
I'm not Dr. B.
Well, you just answered to it, Dr. B. So
Yeah, because no other doctors in the house. But I was falling in love with 3 emojis. Right about now, I'm Dr. Eggplant. I don't know the third emoji name. But yeah, I'm thinking there's big value behind this, because I'm able and I have the millions of dollars to build some marketing behind for my brand, Dr.F.
Yeah, this like you said. I mean, at the end of the day, we all look at it because you just like you just said, you want to build something behind that, right? You want to build a brand behind what you just mentioned. So everybody that comes in this space is not going to be a builder. They're going to be people who just want that identity. They're just going to want to be able to transact and be on the blockchain and facilitate transaction, and for their family, for businesses and everything. So I think that that's kind of what we got to keep in mind.
And I can learn you much more better by only saying my name with emojis. Yes, this is psychological so deep. Please refresh my name and then ask again after me. Yeah? How do you would do it?
Uh, it's like
.com?
Dr. Eggplant.
Yeah, but
Squirt.
click on me.
Yeah, I see it, Dr. Eggplant Squirt. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Com?
I know where you're going at with it, Doctor. I know where you're going at with it. But yeah, it's unique, and then somebody will.
And all the
If you
girls know what's going on, huh?
Yeah, well, they know exactly just by looking at it. Of course, that's all you need to do is look at it, so they understand that those are key emojis that people recognize.
And
So,
then they can dream, like at Mona Lisa.
and then they can dream. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Let's go back.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to 9396. I got a couple more people I'm going to bring up. Go ahead, 9396.
Oh, Doctor, you are the hero of these spaces, man. I don't
Thank
know.
you. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first time someone is mentioning this.
No.
Thank you, bro.
I don't know if you're located in Europe, Berlin, but whenever I go traveling, I want to hang out with you and have some good times. So, man, I love listening to you. But I wanted to say something, just real quick, touching on diversifying the portfolio and bags and stuff. And I said before that there's going to be a lot of craziness. There's going to be a lot of like naughty stuff. There's going to be a lot of controversial stuff being minted, and people are going to go for that. But with that said, there is something like provable rarity thing, which is numbers, which is unaries, which is things that, in my belief, and maybe it's closer to Master's point of view on space, that there are certain domains that will always have their value because of the simplicity, because of like they're like it's hard to have an error in there. Like you memorize your number, we all are used to memorizing our pin numbers and stuff. So having some exposure to that true I consider them true grails. Of course there are words and all that, but for some reason, looking forward maybe even 10 years ahead, I see numbers, and I think our lives are going to become more and more cycling and being built up upon numbers. So that's, I'm totally bullish on Arabic numbers, and I'm totally bullish on English numbers. So I see power in that. It says it take 10K club and 999 club, both of them. I see that being a true value forever on the ENS.
Yeah, definitely. Got a couple more people that just came up. 1289, what's up, bro?
Hey guys, I'm a bit skeptic on the emojis. That being said, I do believe value accrues at the top. So even in the emojis, the single ones, the more distinct emojis will get some love, definitely. But in the end of the day, as 93 and 96 was saying, words, numbers, those are the ones that are going to have the biggest money going into them. So that's my opinion. But with regards to the project that you're talking about, 93, 96, you can definitely do the subdomains as Penelope Club did or Tweaks. Obviously, there's a lot of technical work that goes into it, but has been done before. So I'm pretty sure you can do that. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but oh, sorry.
No, yeah. No, go ahead, doctor. Go ahead.
I don't know why you don't see the value right now, Magnum. Yeah, I don't know what the others was minting with 3 times the same, but click at me, bro. This is a dream for a lot of people, for men and women, for people between, bro. This is without language, everything. Yeah, and you can say me like, how would you call me? Yeah, and don't call me daddy, please. Yeah.
No, no, I would call you daddy, no problem at all. I just don't think a person in Vietnam will understand. Maybe they will understand the eggplant, but I don't think they'll understand most of the emojis, and especially combination of the emojis won't be something that some cultures will understand or appreciate. To be honest, single emojis perhaps, but even Gary was talking about the tacos. I mean, I can tell where I come from. Nobody knows what the fucking a taco is. So, I mean, maybe, but I don't see it. Maybe there's a gap, and maybe in 20 years everyone knows what a taco is. But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, if you probably, I just to give an example, 1289. If some and it kind of spoke about your culture, right? So if somebody sent the word taco over to somebody in your culture, right, and they saw the word taco, and then they saw a picture of a taco, which one would they recognize first?
Neither.
Okay, so you're
The
speaking.
emoji.
So you're speaking from your culture's experience, or you're speaking from your own opinion of your culture's experience. So I think that that's kind of a wide net to cast. You kind of have to be careful about casting the net. So why? Because you never know as things continue to evolve. And when you think about the integrations that are constantly happening, whether it's emojis, whether it's different languages, whether it's whatever. I think you always kind of got to keep that in mind. I try to always make sure that I keep an open mind and I'm not so narrow minded to technology and innovation. Innovation has proved so many people wrong. So I think that's
I
just what
mean,
you got to think about.
it's very easy, in my opinion. I'll ask my mom if she knows. Great. If she doesn't know, I don't think it will. At some point, I mean, she's using Facebook, but it took a while. So I'm not saying it won't happen, but it will take a while.
There is
Yeah.
another thing, if I can touch on the emojis, what hold me back a little bit, their functionality as domains that you could connect to your wallet is still an unknown thing. How the DAO is going to be, how they're going to solve this thing, because till now there is like the flags and emojis with numbers. You cannot connect those to your wallet. So with all the non ASCII characters, you really have to be careful, because even now when you're selling this to people, and you try to make to find a buyer, you're offering something that is half functional, in my opinion. Like because it's like it's not working with wallets. At least a big chunk of those emojis, probably that it's going to get solved in the future, but we still don't know. So that's why I was saying that the ASCII characters, which are closer to proven rarity, are always going to be, on top. So that's my 5 cents.
Yeah, let's go around the room. I think Flossin might have had his hand, and then we'll go to Flossin, then Doctor, and then back to Gary. Okay.
No, I was just gonna make a quick comment. One of the only billionaire basketball players, while still playing, trademarked Taco Tuesday for a reason, and also that's LeBron James. And also, like for me, when I moved over to China and Taiwan, before I actually started to learn the language more, I used emojis to be able to order food. So people do research food before they travel to different geographical locations. And I'll also ask, so you're bullish on some single emojis. Why aren't you bullish on some triples? Because some triple true emojis, they are equivalent to one single emoji. I will reference that I did post, you can kind of scroll over to the right a little bit, a Medium article that explains what a true triple single double is. But I was just want to jump in and make that quick comment. I got to get back to work, guys.
I'm bullish on those two.
Thanks,
Whatever is
Flossin.
clean.
Yeah, thanks, Flossin. Appreciate that. I think we were going to who did we say was next? Was it Doctor Nick?
Gary Palmer was next, and then
Okay,
me.
go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, if someone's like case against emojis is that people aren't going to recognize what a taco is, or they're not going to recognize what a sushi emoji is, then the same thing is going to be true for the word sushi, right? Not everybody can read English, right? And not everyone can read Arabic. Not everybody can read Chinese and all these other languages. And every word is a symbol. Every picture is a symbol. And every symbol is only going to reach a percentage of the total human population for that audience to find. And so if you can target an audience to know what taco emoji is, right? If you can get an audience to target sushi emoji, and they know what it means, or dog emoji, and you go to dog emoji and you can buy dog food with your MetaMask and Ethereum wallet, then that'll be a segment of economic revenue that will come from that, because that symbol has like identified with people either through memes or marketing. So just don't think because like a percentage of people won't identify that 100% of everybody won't identify. And yeah, some names are easily recognizable and are worth more than other names, right? There's a tiered system in here, and words are king. I still think ASIC words are king, but there might be a place for all things.
Definitely. Thanks for that feedback, Gary. Throw.
So I wanted to jump up on the emoji thing, but I'm getting rugged a lot. So NFTverse, if I did get rugged, just mute me, okay? I'm sorry in advance. So I don't have any emoji domains. I got like only 3 of them, maybe, and we've been seeing a lot of trends happening, right? Who the hell am I to tell anyone that this is not good, or this is right, or this is a domain that's gonna sell in the future, or this is not a domain, or this is a domain that's not gonna sell in the future? Just let people be, you guys. Like
Influencers could influence it.
man, I'm talking. Please don't interrupt. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. Literally, if I see someone meant, I don't know, a 3-word nonsense domain, right? If he thinks it has value, then most probably a lot of other people are gonna see the value in it as well, even if I don't see it, right? So the same goes for emojis or whatever. We've seen some heat on flags. We've seen some heat on emojis. Who the fuck thought they did will do it well, right? Who the hell thought that the 10K club will go to a 2 ETH floor? We don't know. Nobody knows if anyone is gonna pretend to know if this is valuable or this is not valuable, they're bullshitting, because mass adoption isn't here. we're still a small community. Of course, we're a big community in the Web3, right? But we're a small community comparing to the global population. And this is still new to us. We ask questions between each other that we still don't know the answers to, right? A lot of new things are happening. So, yeah, just don't throw hate and don't throw shade on people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, ThreadGirl. CG777.
Morning, all. Thank you guys for having me up here. Kev, killing it as always. But yeah, no, it's kind of been touched on what initially kind of came up. The last few speakers kind of touched on. Just kind of echoing really what ThreadGirl kind of said there is, I'm never one to, whether you agree with it or not, like unsolicited advice to what other people are going to do with their money, I think is never wanted. You don't need to, like, I'm not a hater. Like, I'm not going to hate, like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't think if you want to voice your opinion, sure, that's your own right. But the hate just needs to kind of slow down. But no, I wanted to kind of I think maybe this might be a little bit more towards Gary or Master. But this is not, I mean, I grabbed a couple of emojis. I think they're fun. This is not a hate thing, but I know I've spoken with many. I'm not a dev, but I think it's important to also educate. And I know sometimes that may come across as FUD, and it's definitely not FUD intended. I know, similar to kind of what Sean ran into with just kind of educating about DNS to ENS. I think it's glossed over kind of what 9396 was kind of saying about the Etherscan issues and all that kind of with emoji. And I know I've talked to a bunch of people who just in some groups had got some, and then they're like, well, why can't I use this? So I was curious on if you guys could maybe, someone a little bit more educated than myself can kind of touch on that kind of on the background, why there's an issue, why you can't use that, and so on.
I think it's related to non-ASCII characters, and they'll be not really like they haven't upgraded the thing. So yeah, you can mint it, but it's risky. I don't know why it's not like a really well-known thing, that it's not functional and it's mainly an aesthetics thing up to now, because that's what they are, like flags. I don't know about all the emojis, and I'm not a hater. I love them. I just don't understand them, so I try to do stuff that I understand. But I think it's a problem of on some protocol levels. Maybe Gary knows more specific info about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, of course, this all has to do with ASIC. I mean, this is all. I mean, this whole conversation is about non-ASIC names. But yeah, it's like a known issue that that emojis don't resolve the exact same way for everybody. And without getting into the super details of those super specifics, which I don't have at the tip of my fingers here, this is, yes, a known issue. It's on the discuss board, and there's a resolution in process. Actually, I think Flossin or ENSpunks might know specifically about this, but this is a known thing. And then once they resolve it, then people can just follow the proper format, and then and then that won't be an issue anymore. But people do know about the issue. Things do take time, to get done right. ENSpunks or Flossin, you guys have extra info on top of the status of that known request?
Real quick. Let me reset the room really quick.
Yeah, I sort of like ThreadGirl. I might be getting rugs, so just let me know or whatever. I'll jump down if it's not coming through. But, so
hey, ENSpunks
9396. If I understand the question, it deals with this idea of when you're in the ENS domain manager, the resolver is empty. If that's the case, am I rugged? Everybody's laughing.
Hey guys, I just wanted to mute the room really quick. ENSpunks, you're kind of rugging just a little bit. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I don't know, throw up some hearts or something like that, guys, if you can hear me pretty clear. All right, cool. So ENSpunks, you're rugging, bro. So maybe try to come back in. Just wanted to reset the room really quick. Guys, this room, this space is the ENS update show. This show is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. If you haven't, if this is your first time in here, or invited a friend in here. This is where you get the ultimate alpha. This is the longest running ENS space in the hemisphere, in the world, guys. Okay? So when you get a chance, understand, tweet it out, send it to your friends, let your friends know to come into the ENS update show. This is where you'll get the best alpha at, I promise you. All right, let me go ahead and unmute everybody. We'll get back to it. All right. So Kev's not back yet, I don't believe. So let's go in order here. Doctor, you were up next. Go ahead, bro.
Sorry, please bring up ENSDG or Mafico. I will bring me up later. I'm in private messages. 2 or 3 minutes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Doctor. Mafico, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, like a lot of people here, I don't earn any emojis either. And thinking through the diagram that I produced, I mean, it's very clear why emojis are running right now. It's like they're seen as a flex, right? It's the aesthetics, and it's like that's where we're at in the market, and it's very likely we'll probably see like emoji clubs or something that will form as well in time. And again, this is where we're at in the current market. Now, some of the things Gary is mentioning, right? That I think it's Gary, the NFT verse, that you actually can't use. There's no actual like ENS utility to the emojis right now. Maybe they'll change that. Maybe they won't. But that's a really important thing to consider, right? I don't know how long this current market with I don't think any of us know how long this current market will go for. Whatever. I think who mentioned it? What goes up must come down. So just something to bear in mind. Long term, whether the DAO ends up giving the emojis that utility, that's a big question mark. But make no mistake, there is a market right now for these emojis, for the scene as as a flex, and it's all speculation. But just take it all with a grain of salt. Like, I'm really happy for the people who have that conviction. I'm sure you guys know the guy, but he was. I mean, this guy was emojis before like anybody. Like he had a very clear thesis on emojis. He was like, these things are gonna take off. He's not a big like influencer or anything like that. He was just one guy, very clear thesis, had been consistently posting about it. And you know what? I have to give him his flowers. Like, it wasn't even based on what he was doing. They just popped off and people saw what he had seen for a long time. So I think for all of us, there's a lesson there around, there's something that we all have these for our domains. I know Kevin and I, we've been speaking heaps about the hyphens, right? Like hyphens, like professional names. We have that thesis. A lot of people don't have that thesis. It may prove to be true, it may not, but it's just like, if it pops off, then great, that's fantastic. But I don't think, for me, I'm like, if someone has a thesis and they've been very long on that thesis and they've had conviction for a long time, I can't shame them for that. Like, that's congratulations on my thing, but I can understand the conviction and I have to give them their flowers for it.
Hey,
oh,
go ahead.
I just add on real quick, brother. I want to say thank you for doing a phenomenal job holding the room down, brother. That is a great job. I just want to add on real quick because you guys have a great flow going here. Guys, look at all the hands that are up right now. Look at all the hands are up. Look at all the hearts. Everybody give a heart real quick. Give a heart or a laughing face. Ladies and gentlemen, those are emojis. We use emojis every single day. Whether you're texting a friend, you're giving a heart, you're giving a clap. The old Twitter before the update, you could give the 100 sign. Guys, we're literally interacting with emojis every single day that we are alive. We interact with emoji, whether we're reading a tweet, writing a tweet, texting a friend, whatever it is. Emojis have become a staple in this society. Emojis aren't going anywhere. They have become a staple in this society. For me personally, I'm not all in on emojis. I did get 5159 in emojis just to secure my identity, but I do think the more I sit and really speculate on, is this going to be something, is the more I realize, holy shit, of course it's going to be something, because we interact with these things on a day-to-day basis, and And on an identity level, I think it's a real big flex, and it's a real cool flex. But that's all I have to say. I'm going back on mute. NFT verse. I'll let you continue to flow, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Kev. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I go in order because I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to speak. ENS Digital has had a hand raised for a while, so we'll go right there to you.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's ENS Digital, aka Flex 24/7. So a 5159, thanks for holding the space as well as the NFT Verse Master. You gave me chills earlier when you said 5159, when you said the ENS updates. I mean, it just, we are an alpha space. Like this is by far the ENS space you need to be on. I know it's been a while. It's probably been about a week or two since I've been on. But I'm still going strong, and I hope each and every one of you are going strong too, because this is something that we are a part of, that we are creating. We are the first generation in this class. So, with ENS, I mean, we are the ones that are making this happen. And, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, whoever's involved right now, you're going to be very happy. So, one of the things I kind of want to share with, I did a pin up top here, and it got me thinking, somebody registered Mr. 305 about a year or two ago, and that is known for Pitbull, the rapper. So I noticed it's got about a half an hour left at $8,000. I don't know who did it, but it's one of those things where when we're talking about geological, areas, I just want to kind of get your thoughts on, Mister or even Mrs. with your geological area code. So let's say, for example, you're in, Florida. You could be like, or in Miami, Mr. 305. Wouldn't that be cool to have? There's only 350 of these in the world as far as like Mr. of that on that sector, and then there's Mrs. So it's like I wanted to let you all know there's probably there's about 150 people in this room. I mean, I'm not saying your area code has been taken or not taken, but you should take a look to see if it isn't. But the cool thing about it, I was just thinking about geological locations. Wouldn't it be cool to have like, Mister, 904, I think that's Jacksonville, Mister 321. If you live in Orlando, I think it could be something big. So, that's just the Mister part. You got Mrs. too, and then maybe you could do Doctor.
I
So just
think
kind of
it's
giving you guys. Go ahead.
No, I'll say ENS Digital. I think it's a play, right? It's an identity play, right? Somebody
Amen.
who somebody who truly wants to secure that. If Pitbull, if you want to go by Mister 305, and that's what you've been
Mm,
branded as, and that's what you've been named as, then to me, if his team understands Web3, it's probably just the people around his team that are not involved in Web3 right now. But if people around his team understand metaverse and music and how music is going to be NFTs, and I don't know if he's doing any of that right now, then the true branding behind that, he would scoop up Mr. 305 to secure that. But
right.
you just don't know enough about people and how passionate they might be about a particular name right now since we're so early, right?
Yeah, we're way, way early.
Yeah, he could get it for cheap right now, but later on, when somebody secures it, they may hold on to it and they may charge him some stacks. So I don't know. You just gotta
That's
kind of think about that, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And it's just the cool thing about it is that, like you can actually mint an area code right now. Like they're available. There's, for the Mister, there's over about 150 left. I didn't get them all. I got some. But I'm saying, if you go through the list, if you want to be a part of that, I think it could be some sort of, possibly a club, which would be, it's just the rarity, the identity of having that geological, you know, um, area code in the United States. And
Yeah,
then there's also in between you have 000 to 999. It could be other countries too that are available. So as a whole, from zero to 999 of the area code throughout the world, there's like 800, maybe 700 available. So if anybody wants something like that, you can mint it 10, 20 bucks, 12 bucks, 13, whatever. You'd have something that, you'd be the first. So just thought I'd
yeah,
share some stuff, man. I'm excited for you all. And, I just want everybody to just move forward, and, your thoughts, like success is literally a thought process. And in order to succeed in life, you must actually have to think about it before it even happens. You just got to take some action. And you literally can turn your thoughts into realization. And one of the things I like to do is keep that positive mental attitude at all time. I know you guys been, a little bit arguments I've been hearing, and it's just like we're a community, and And we're supposed to be a community for all of us to succeed at the highest level. So it's like if you got something, that's the one you get off your chest, or somebody attacked you, just put it on your shoulder, brush it off, move forward. It's about elevating and keeping that positive mental attitude at all costs. I want to protect the community. I just want all of us to elevate and just get along and learn from one another, and let's prosper together. I mean, it's the best way to do it in life. And I mean, that's it right there, my guy.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, ENS Digital, thanks for popping in here and tapping into the update show, bro. We appreciate all of those good words you just shared, man. Hey,
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I hate to skip around, but I know that ENS Punks got rugged. So ENS Punks, I really want you to also touch on what Gary was talking about that normalization that's happening with the emojis, just to kind of give some people a little bit of insight on what's going on behind the scenes, if you don't mind. ENS Punks, go ahead.
Yeah, GM, I'm probably going to get rugged again. I just made a tweet. I was going to pin it to the top. Communicate the old-fashioned way, hack the system. So there's a couple things. One, normalization. Just go in the ENS DAO forum. You'll see our guy Rafi's thread on normalization. It's not just for emojis. It's basically for any non-standard character, which includes foreign characters, foreign digits. I mean, you name it. It's the most incredible work I've ever seen. And not only is there this crazy thread. Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting rugged. Damn.
We still hear you. Go ahead, ENS Punks. I can still hear you a little bit. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Rafi is working on normalization. There will be a normalization update. But in terms of what I think our guy 9396 was referencing, this is if you currently have any name with an emoji in it, and you go to ens.domains, and basically you try to manage the record, same as you would manage your current record. You're setting the Ethereum address, the Bitcoin address, anything else. What you'll find is that resolver record's not there. Registrant record's there, controller record's there, but then it shows the resolver is blank. So first and foremost, do not set the resolver record. You're just going to be wasting your money. It will not set for emojis right now. It's, in fact, if you register through ens.domains, it's already set. Now, our guy Snail, if he's in the house, he even taught me. So this is the beauty of the community. I didn't know. I just knew about this user interface issue right now where the resolver does not show up and the records do not show up, even if they are set. And he taught me you can interact directly with the smart contract through Etherscan. It's takes some education, learning. You don't just know by instinct how to interact with the smart contract directly with Etherscan, but it's certainly possible while ENS is, fixing this UI issue. And they know about it. There's a GitHub open. You can go check it out. I do have links to that. I've got links to Rafi's normalization thread. I've got links to Rafi's GitHub account with the actual normalization going on. So there's a ton of stuff. When we talk about name mapper update, it's not just that. It's not just CCIP. It's not just on-chain, off-chain resolution. There's normalization. There are a ton of improvements coming. It's incredible work all around. Get in that ENS DAO forum because you'll learn the devs who are working on it. It's Nick.eth, it's True Names Limited, but then there's like independent devs working on it, like Prim.eth. He's doing this basically from Bitcoin grants. So we want to support the devs who are working on this amazing stuff. Rafi, I believe he's got a grant for the normalization stuff. Again, can't say enough about Rafi, even though I don't even know the guy. Just his work speaks for itself. And that's about it. Now, emoji and all that stuff aside, real quick, I just kind of wanted to bring it back to the community, maybe shift gears and topics a little bit and say the NFT versus Friday night happy hour, I did it big. I did it way too big. Saturday was a wreck for me. But the more important thing is the community, man. This is where it's like, forget all this shit. I feel like Snoop Dogg at the Source Awards in 1995. Like, the East Coast don't got love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Like, I don't care if you like emojis, don't like emojis, digits. No, who gives a shit, man? There's better stuff going around that you could dedicate yourself to and your energy towards, and that's building. Check out my man, the NFT verse, right? It's like, let's focus our energy on supporting my man. He's got this crazy idea. I don't know who came up with it, but I love it. Is let's get him a sponsorship for the NFT ENS ENS Friday Night Happy Hour from Beer.eth, that Budweiser. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're in here talking about emojis, you got opinions this way, that way, that's great. That's part of it. But let's also build, let's focus on the community a little bit. Like, let's all rally around my man. How great would it be if my man next Friday, all of a sudden, we got a pinned tweet at the top saying, brought to you by Beer.eth, the official beer sponsor of the
Bro, are you
ENS Friday
flying
Night
with your
Happy Hour.
UFO,
So it's like,
bro?
look, opinions are good. Let's chop it up. That's what community does. But let's
Hey,
also kind of work as a community. This is what I keep talking about: organizing, rallying around, realize how powerful we are.
Mr. E.T.?
And man, that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to see get done. Is big things like that. So, shout out to Kev, Master, NFTverse, Gary P, ThreadGirl, Dr. F, Flossin, Mafico, 9396, all the speakers, all the listeners. That's that community, and I let's have those conversations, but let's do
yeah,
some positive shit too. Nothing wrong with getting some positive stuff done. We
yeah.
can do it. And so that's it for your boy.
Thank you, ENS punks. That was good. Definitely, let's get NFT verse sponsored, guys. We do the show every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have quite a few people with their hand up and quite little time left. So let's get through everybody on stage, right, with their hand up. Just keep it brief, as we're going to be coming to a close pretty soon here. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to OGKidG. You're waving like a madman, so the stage is yours, bro.
Yo, 5159, thank you so much. I'm going to be very brief, and I'm going to divert away from emojis to a little bit more of a serious topic. So I'm a former museum employee. I used to work for the Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. The acronym is FAMSF. You can go to the website, famsf.org. We're two museums under one umbrella. We're the De Young and the Legion of Honor. Well, we're not. They are. I am not employed by them anymore. Apparently, I'm in violation of the Business and Professional Code 17200, and I violated purchasing domain names of the institution. So I own famsf.eth and the Legion of Honor.eth. They're not connected to any wallet, and they're alleging that I've been putting these domains up for sale, which you can verify on the blockchain that I've never offered these domains for sale. And so I was just recently terminated from my position July 15th, which is very disheartening because I know that the museums want to get into Web3. Our curator, or their curator, just launched a project, Art of Choice, in participation with the curator of SF MoMA. And so I know that they want in, they're holding conversations with contributors and donors. I've been highly involved as a part-time employee, as a DoorDash driver, and, off the side, evening degenning, investing and looking into projects, looking into domain names. So I took it upon myself as an employee and as a security benefit, or a security, to purchase these domain names, so that no other outside um, individual will purchase these names, right? Currently, the De Young Museum is currently owned by somebody outside of the institution, and they've already established about a 5K portfolio using their name. And I don't believe that they're associated with the museums, but it's like, yeah, it's just a very tricky situation, right? Like, I own their domain name, and I very much overstepped myself as a part-time employee and through my position, but I also want to develop my career in Web3 and as a digital art advisor, and getting more involved in Web3 and multiple platforms, LinkedIn, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, whatever have you. But yeah, it's a very weird situation that I put myself in now, right? Knowing that the institutions want their domain. So essentially they sent me a cease and desist letter, and they terminated me, and now they want me to hand over these domain names to them,
Did you
which
ever try
I'm
selling them the name, or did you tell them you have the name? Did you try selling it? Did you try offering it to them for free? I missed that part.
no,
Elaborate.
no. They
We can
want
work together, bro. I own all of the Louvre, Louvre Paris, Louvre Lyon, Louvre Abu Dhabi, bro. Then we can make a really big museum game.
Here's what I would say. I would say this. We have a lot of attorneys in this space that are really getting into what we would call IP protections and different type of trademarks and things like that. I think ENS Punks. I don't know Punks. If you can connect, with the OG kid, maybe you can kind of help him kind of navigate through what he's been going through right now with this whole thing.
But OGKid, was your intent to give it to them, or was your intent to sell it to them?
My intent was to create a career for myself and a new department, and to accept Ethereum as a crypto donation to the museums, and then use those donations to create like exhibitions, evening
Okay, yeah,
events.
I listen. That's really cool. I get all that. You were taking initiative. You bought the name. You thought you could help create like a new all that good stuff. Did you? I mean, did you? That doesn't answer the question. Were you going to sell it to them, or were you going to give it to them?
Inevitably, at the end of my contract, I would hand over the domain names after my tenure with the museums.
Maybe we can connect, because then we can build a whole metaverse from the museum for old people who are not able to go back to the museum in real life, and so they can go with metaverse and the VR glass inside of the museum again. And yeah, let's talk private messages, bro. This is a nice play, man.
What I mean,
Yeah.
so you're trying to wait. I'm confused. How do they even know you have the domains, bro?
So, bro, okay, so back in like February, March, the project that I'm currently involved in, one of the devs sent me a job application from the Museum of Modern Art in New York. They're looking for a Web3 associate position. So I applied for that position, and then I took a screenshot of the duties and responsibilities of that role, and I took that screenshot and I posted it on LinkedIn, tagging the Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. This generated the attention of the director of digital strategy from the museums, and she outreached to me at like 10 p.m. on LinkedIn, talking about like Web3 and what could we do about the museums, and how would it look like, for the museums to enter in Web3, and yada yada yada, all this. And it's like, the director of digital strategy follows me now on like LinkedIn and on Instagram. And I never studied law. I studied museums and I studied art. And I've been on social media since MySpace. So what I did, because I know that currently right now, if you go on Instagram and you look for FAMSF, it's owned by some dude, and he hasn't posted since September 16th. So what I did is I took the FAMSF.eth and I created an Instagram account, not posting anything on it, just creating the account, and then having people from the institution see the potential of a domain name, and having it on Instagram, and having the public see that, like, oh, the Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco are now accepting Ethereum, or there's a potential to donate Ethereum to the FAMSF.
This is what
Right.
it comes down to, brother. Uh, two things. I highly suggest you connect with ENS Punks. Right, he is an attorney. There's a couple other people in this space that have some experience doing that. Or you could play the other role. Now you guys want to fire me for this bet. I'll just hold on to this until you're ready to
Don't do that. Oh my goodness, this kid lives in America.
but the best thing to do here, bro, is connect with ENS Punks. There's a couple other people like Near and a lot of other IP attorneys, are people who are trying to get into Web3 IP attorney that could give you a lot better advice than honestly I can, or pretty sure a lot of the speakers here can. So ENS Punks is the one that has the cow and spaceship as his handle right now. So connect with him, send him a DM. I'm pretty sure he'll give you some helpful advice, and then you could probably go from there. But do want to pass over to James Crypto Nova. He's been waiting very patiently, and then Flossin, and then we'll call this one a day.
I just real quick, I just want to say thank you for the time. Thank you for letting me come up and speak. And I'm gonna outreach to ENS Punks. I just followed you, and I'm gonna follow everybody up here, following Master, following the NFT verse and 515. Yeah, I got you all. I got you all to speak right now. Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
and breaking news, Flossin, if you have the breaking news thing right now, we have breaking news live on the show right now.
Man, you caught me off guard. The one time I don't have it, man. Go ahead and spit it, though.
It's cool. But we just reached 500,000 unique addresses. Yeah, I pinned it to the top. That is absolutely astronomical breaking news. We are growing, guys. We are growing. This community is getting bigger, larger, and most importantly, stronger. We are $500,000 mark. I wouldn't be surprised if we're at the million mark within 6 to 12 months. So stay tuned with that. But James Crypto Nova, the stage is yours, brother, and then we'll go to Floss and call this thing a day.
Thanks, Kev. So I am seeing that the ENS is growing rapidly, and this also is inviting back actors who are wash trading and pump their own bag just by trading some unique niche ENS. Um, so do do you guys think that we will continue to see this trend where instead of people building on things that are popular and solidified, such as the 999 Club and 10K Club, or do you see that uh, people will continue to try and make random a new wave instead of building on top of what we already have? Because I see that for the 10K club specifically, that we are still having a lot of people who don't understand what it is and they are not actively participating. So they would just randomly accept offers that are much lower. And I've seen many for the 99 club where they they have a 3 digit, but they don't have the knowledge of what is the floor right now. Perhaps they don't even understand where to look for it on ENS Vision or Gem, things like that. And part of me still thinks that it could be because they only use OpenSea, and OpenSea currently don't have that feature. And my question is that could we rally up our community together and actually fuck OpenSea? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask that question. I'm just gonna ask how can we support ENS Vision better so that it would beat OpenSea?
When you list your names, you can list your names on both platforms. Like maybe you hate OpenSea and you don't even want to give them that much, but you could list your names on both platforms, but then list them higher on OpenSea. And this way you teach people, yo, you can use OpenSea if you want. And you're just paying like, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 more. And then find out later from Twitter that you're an idiot, that you didn't use ENS Vision. And then you teach people to use ENS.Vision.
Yeah, one thing I want to add on to that, I wanted to say this the last time. 00 was just in the room earlier. I wish she was still here. But guys, when you look at OpenSea became popular, this last bull cycle, right? But they were building in the bear market. OpenSea had their heads down and they were building a platform and they were making something phenomenal in that bear market. And then when the bull came around and NFTs became a little bit more mainstream and popularized, they basically took initiative and became number one in that industry, right? As a marketplace. I think we'll see something very similar with ENS Vision or any competitor that steps up to the plate of becoming that major platform in the next bull market, in the next ENS bull, because they're building in the bear. They're improving every single day. So I think it's only a matter of time before they reap the rewards that they're giving back to the community. Master, I seen you unmuted the mic. Did you want to add on to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just a kind reminding that OpenSea, we don't like it. They don't deserve it. We know it. In China, we call it open shit, and it's just not caring about all the domain stuffs. But to sign, to approve your ENS token on any new platform is very risky, to be honest. You don't know the codes, right? You don't know the inside, whether or not it's safety or not. You can only follow the community, follow the majority of the guys to see if these alphas they are leading, then you try to follow. But that is also risky. Keep this in mind. If you are doing well in OpenSea, unless something special, I would not, me personally, I would not recommend you, to take the very bold move, because giving that signature means, they have access to it all. Maybe ENS.vision is doing great, but it's just a kind reminding that because we are not, most of us, not all of us are developers. We don't know the background of it. Even the developer of the project itself sometimes got rocked by some program or something. Not to mention us, right? So always keep this in mind. This is the top priority. You lost that. You lost everything, which is the foundation of all your assets. So just be careful on that. That's why I tried a lot of times to convince ENS community to let them build a marketplace as an official team, because that one we won't have any trust issue, and we believe the DAO will be powerful enough to do that. But that's another topic. Just reminding you guys, be careful on this one. This is a top priority.
Flossin, take us home, brother.
Hey, great space, Kev. I hated I couldn't be tapped in as much, but I just wanted to make one point. But before I do that, Master, I guarantee you someone's about to go mint open shit. I'm going to be looking for that coming through on the bot here in a few minutes. So, but the last point I was going to make, me and NFTverse are hosting a space tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, regarding keycaps, and then the OX keycap. We're going to give our thesis on why the 0 with green X is not a derivative. Some people view it as that, but we're going to give a little info on why that's not. So definitely want to welcome everyone to this space, and we're going to try to do it every Monday.
Oh, that was it?
Oh, I was trying to make it quick, man. I know you got to go. I know you got to eat. It's about that time for lunch.
It abruptly. Okay. Cool. So you said 8 p.m. Eastern time?
Post at the top. You can find it on both our profiles, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to go for about an hour. We welcome everyone to come up there. I'm sure we'll probably dive into a little other emoji things, but mainly keycaps. That's what we're going to focus on every Monday moving forward.
All right, sounds good. I will be in attendance. With that being said, y'all have a phenomenal day. We are running a little bit over time. Have to get back to work. So wishing everybody a phenomenal day, many blessings, prosperity, wealth, abundance, and hopefully you can sell one of your domains in the near future. 5159 is out.